The Right to Education Act came into force in April 2010. The Asar journey began in 2005. This sixth report will serve as a baseline for the Right to Education Act. Since 2005, each year, about 25,000 citizens from across the country reach out to 7 lakh children and find out whether they go to school and how well they can read and do arithmetic. The results of this exercise become the Annual Status of Education Report, or ASAR. This is the largest annual household survey on the status of education in India. In 2010, ASAR found that 96.5% of children in the age group of 6 to 14 are enrolled in schools. Further, the proportion of girls in the 11 to 14 age group who are still out of school has been declining continuously over the last 5 years, and it dropped in 2010 too, as compared with 2009. But more work needs to be done, particularly in states like Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, where this percentage remains high. Bihar stands out for bringing this number down to just 4.6% within the last 4 years. Although the right to education begins at age 6, more and more 5-year-olds are entering Standard 1. In 2009, 54.6% of 5-year-old children were enrolled in schools and not in ICDS centers or Balwaris. The year 2010 saw an 8 percentage point jump in this number and reached 62.7%. Most states allow children to enter school at age 5. Karnataka is the latest to join the group of such states through a change of rules. It is time that the government added a KG class in every school for the 5-year-olds. There has been a big increase in private school enrollment from 19% in 2006 to 24% in 2010. On an average, the southern states saw a 5 percentage point jump in private school enrollment from 2009. The number of government school children going for additional paid tuition classes between 2009 and 2010 remained unchanged at around 26%. However, the proportion of private school children who go for paid tuition has decreased by nearly 5 percentage points between 2009 and 2010. In the eastern states, where private school enrollment is low, 50%, 56% and 76% of Standard 5 children in government schools from Orissa, Bihar and West Bengal, respectively, continue to go for such tuition classes. ASAR uses the ability to read and solve arithmetic problems as an indicator of the quality of learning. Nationally, there has been no significant change in learning levels of children over the last 6 years. In its 6th year running, ASAR observes that 50% of children in Standard 5 cannot read Standard 2 level text, and over 60% in Standard 5 cannot do division. This should serve as a wake-up call for some urgent action. Punjab provides some good news that has been building up for the last 3 years. There has been a consistent improvement in proportion of children who can read and solve arithmetic in Punjab. The ability to read has improved in all classes up to 7, and so has the ability to do arithmetic. No other state has thus far shown improvement in arithmetic abilities. In 2010, we also tried to measure children's ability to do simple, everyday calculations. Working with menu cards was easy, but the calendar proved difficult. More difficult was working on area problems, except for children in Kerala and Bihar. In this first year of enforcement of the Right to Education Act, ASAR visited 13,000 government schools in as many villages. Over 60% of the schools visited satisfied the infrastructure norms specified by the law. However, more than half of these schools will need more teachers. A third will need more classrooms. So, as we enter a new decade and a new phase with the Right to Education Act, the question before India is, as the Honourable Vice President of India, Mr. Hamid Ansari, pointed out, will this remain only a right to school or become the right to education with improved learning achievements?